This is very important lecture. This is ABC of dermatology. If you start knowing the different lesions, then you will be able to reach the diagnosis of different skin conditions. Basically, what a lesion is. A lesion is a single area of altered skin, whereas rash is the widespread eruptions of the lesions. So, my lecture will give you overview of the integumentary system, skin of the part of that, and the function of the skin. Then we'll directly go describe see the different skin lesions and see their descriptions. So basically, what are different parts of integumentary system? Part integumentary system are skin and its accessory structures like hair, nails, glands, blood vessels, muscles, nerves. All are very important part and all play their role in different functions done by the skin or performed by the skin. So, this is the introduction. What actually skin is? Skin is the largest organ of the body. It maintains homeostasis, protects underlying tissues and organs, protects our body from different type of injuries, may it be from damaging substances, ultraviolet rays, or mechanical injuries. It has got three components, three layers: epidermis, then dermis, and subcutaneous tissue. Same here: epidermis, dermis. This is more elaborative diagram. Here we can see clearly the epidermal part, then the dermis and subcutaneous tissue. Epidermis is basically, it has got four layers. This is stratum basale, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, and stratum corneum. It is composed of keratinocytes. It's a brick cell made up of keratinocytes. The basic cell is keratinocyte. It's produce keratin. It is produce the divisional pool of the cell is in the stratum basale in this layer. Normally 30% of the keratinocytes are in division pool, undividing. Unless there is some disease where more cells enter into a division phase. So from here cell travels up, changing its shape and is shed from this layer, stratum corneum. So other cells which are present here are melanocytes, which again very important cell. It produces pigment melanin, gives color to our skin. Very important. And Merkel cell is also present here, which is an important function of the sensation. Third cell present in the basal layer is antigen presenting cells. Antigen presenting cells is very important in our defense mechanism. Dermis is divided into two parts: papillodermis, upper portion, and the reticulodermis. Blood vessels are in the dermis, and dermis provide nutrients, structural support and nutrients to the epidermis. There are other structures too here. There are epidermal appendages, hair follicles, erector pili muscles, sebaceous gland. Sebaceous gland is a very important gland. It produces sebum. which moist after skin, the sweat glands, sweat glands. There are two types of glands, eccrine and apocrine. Eccrine is gland at different part of the body, whereas apocrine glands is present in the axilla and groin and perianal areas. They are important structures. So, what are different functions of the skin? The most important part function is barrier function. It protects us from different mechanical injuries, microbes, thermal injuries, so many injuries. It has got another function which is immunological function. It has antigen-presenting cells, and that's how it protects us from the different microbes. Then water electrolyte balance, very important function of the skin. The thermal regulation, whenever there's a heat wave, the skin loses human loses heat from the skin, and the blood vessels are dilated. Skin dermal vessels are dilated, and heat is also there's also lot of sweating. When there is cold, body want to preserve heat, so the capillaries, dermal vessels are constricted during winter to preserve heat. Skin also sensitive to vitamin D3 under the influence of ultraviolet rays. This is a very important function. Of course, communications. It has got nerve endings, touch, temperature, sensation, pressure sensations. There also aesthetic property of the skin. It's got nerves, it's got the hair, nails. It produces beauty. So it's part of the beauty also. Very important part, aesthetic part of the skin cannot be forgotten. How many types of skin? There are two major types of skin. The larger part of the skin is thin hairy. The thinnest part of the skin is in the eyelid. The thickest part are palm and soles. There are no hair follicles in the palm and sole. There are a lot of sweat glands in the palm and sole. Now, how to inspect different skin lesions? What are important points to reach the diagnosis? First of all, you need to see the lesions, their size, their type. The scar formation, shape and symmetry is important. What are their color and pigmentation to help you out? And of course, how the regions are distributed, what part of the body are involved. For flexus involvement, there is extensive involvement. Different diseases have got very characteristic distributions. If you talk of acne has got its own distributions, face, truncal areas. If you talk about seborrheic dermatitis, it involves those areas where there is a lot of sebum production, like scalp, side of the nose, and the chest. There are three types of skin lesions. What is primary lesion? Primary lesion is basically basic reaction pattern of the skin with definite morphology. Whereas secondary lesions evolve or modified with the time, produced by scratching or infection. There are some special lesions which are specific for certain diseases. Here are primary lesions: papule, macule, nodules, vesicles, pustules, patch, plaque, tumor, and polyp. There are secondary lesions. They evolve with time, modifications, scales, cuts, excoriations, erosions, ulcers, atrophy, cyst. Special lesions like erythema, telangiectasias, purpura, petechiae, ecchymosis, hematoma, and ectoderma. Other name for ectoderma is exfoliative dermatitis. Here comes macule. Macule is just change of color. It's smooth, less than 1 centimeter in diameter. A patch is bigger one, is more than 1 centimeter diameter. Again, change of color with smooth surface. Here you can see the macules of the vitiligo. They are all depigmented macules. Here you can see the patches of the vitiligo, all depigmented patches. There's no melanin here. Papule is smaller, less than 1 centimeter in diameter. They are raised above the skin surface. They may be single or multiple. You can see here papules, which are raised lesions, smaller, less than 1 centimeter. These are violet in color in this picture. These are papules of the lichen planus. A plaque is a bigger one, is more than 1 centimeter in diameter. It's elevated lesion. You can see here a plaque of the psoriasis. Larger area is involved. Here is the nodule. Nodule is basically it has got 3 dimensions. Is enlargement of a papule in 3 dimensions. It's more than 1 centimeter in diameter. Usually found in dermal subcutaneous tissue. It is solid. This is a tumor. Basically, it's a swelling. It occurs because of the enlargement of normal or pathological material cells producing a mass. It may be a benign or malignant. We can see here water-filled lesions. If those are less than 0.5 centimeter, we call it vesicle. If more than 0.5 centimeter in diameter, we call it bullae. Vesicles occur in chickenpox, is a very common skin condition, in herpes simplex, in herpes zoster, in contact eczema, whereas bulla are the part of the immunopolar disorders like pemphigus, pemphigoid, thermal burns, frostbite, diabetic bullae, and many other conditions too. These are vesicles but filled with pus. We call those as a pustule. Those may be infective or non-infective depending on the condition. The pustula follicularis are infectious, where contains Staph aureus, where pustules of the pustule psoriasis are non-sterile. They don't grow anything. Abscess is a collection, local collection of pus. It may be cold or hot. Cold abscesses are part of the tuberculosis infection, where hot abscess can be of the acute bacterial infections. They may drain, may not drain. Now coming to the secondary lesions, these are fish-like scales. What are scales? Scales basically flakes. These are limited mass of keratin. We all know that, as we discussed earlier, cells are being formed in the stratum basale. They traveled and shed out from the stratum corneum. Usually we don't notice all this. But certain disease conditions, when the turnover is fast, like psoriasis or ichthyosis, and also in other conditions, we can actually see the scales coming out from the outer layer of the skin. So these are flakes, a limited mass of keratin. Now coming to the crusting, crusting is the exudate through the eroded epidermis. It may be yellow or brown in color. Remember, impetigo has got typical crusting, honey crusting. What is excoriation? Excoriation is basically scratch marks. It's a feature of highly itchy conditions like scabies, atopic eczema, and many more. Whereas fissure, fissure is a thin crack within epidermis or epithelium. It occurs because of excessive dryness. You may have noticed the thickening of the palm and sole with fissuring. It's very painful sometimes. We can see in this diagram lichenification, which is thickened skin with increased skin marking. It's caused by chronic rubbing. Just like if you talk about the atopic eczema, is a chronic disease people used to rub, they produce lichenification. Skin becomes thickened with exaggerated skin markings. Atrophy is thinning of the some or all layer of the skin. It may be feature of some skin disease or maybe part because of use of the excessive use of steroids. Especially use steroids on the face for longer duration or strong potent steroids, skin becomes thin, atrophic, and you can see the telangiectasias through thin skin. What is a cyst? Is a cavity lined by epithelium. It may contain liquid, solid, or semi-solid material. When there is some trauma, body tries to heal that. So sometimes the normal tissue is replaced by fibrous tissue. If it's limited within the injury site, we call it a scar. Like here, you can see the scar. If it is beyond the acute injury site, we call it keloid. So keloid is a firm, irregular shaped, thickened, hypertrophic, fibrous, pink or red outgrowth beyond limit of actual injury. So this is the difference between scar and keloid. Scar is within the injury site, it's fibrous tissue. Keloid is also fibrous tissue, but it's beyond the actual injury site. Both are the response of the body to the trauma. Erosion and ulcers. Erosion is basically partial or full loss of the epidermis. When the bulli is ruptured, we can see many erosions. They heal without scarring. When ulcer is the full thickness loss of the epidermis as well as dermis, they heal with scarring. Ulcer you have seen in the leg ulcer is very common with the varicose eczemas. And the pyoderma gangrenosum is also present with ulcers, bed ulcers, bed sores. This is erythema. This is a typical dilatation of the blood vessels. These are telangiectasias. These are dilated cutaneous, permanent cutaneous blood vessels. They may occur because of some skin conditions like rosacea, and some telangiectasias are conditions of congenital. Telangiectasia can also produce by using the excessive steroid on the face, causing thinning and telangiectasia on the face. There are three lesions. All three occur because of the extravasation of the blood from the capillaries. Smaller one, less than 3 mm size, we call it pedicule. It is from 3 to 9 millimeter. We call it purpura. Purpura may be painful and palpable in case of vasculitis, and in case of the some coagulation disorder or blood deficiency, the purpura are not palpable. However, they don't branch on putting pressure. Eutoscopy will not branch. That's a typical feature of the purpuras. If there is bigger lesion, more deeper excessive hemorrhage, we call it ecchymosis, more than 12 millimeter. What is hematoma? Hematoma is the pool-like collection of extravasated blood in a dead space in a tissue. This is, we can see the hematoma under the nail. It occurs because of trauma. This picture shows erythroderma. What's basically erythroderma is? Erythroderma is the skin condition where more than 90% of the body is involved with redness, scaling, edema, thickening, and itching. This is sort of skin failure. It occurs and all the function of the skin are disturbed. As we discussed earlier, function of the skin all are disturbed in case of ectoderma because skin is not normal now. It's a feature of the may occur in eczema, psoriasis, drug reactions, mycosis fungoides, many other skin conditions too. Now, coming to the configuration is basically shape or outline of the skin lesions. The skin lesions are often grouped. The pattern or shape may help in many skin conditions, diagnosing many skin conditions, as many skin conditions have characteristic configuration. Here you can see the discoid lesions or coin-shaped lesions. This is nummular pattern. This occurs in a discoid eczema, fixed eruptions. This is linear lesion. It occurs in striae or because of a scratch. Some nevus are also linear, like a linear epidermal nevus. This is target lesion, iris-like. You can see here concentrated rings like a dartboard. This feature of erythema multiforme, which is occurs due to herpes simplex or some drugs. When the lesions are in ring shape, center clear, margins active, elevated, we call it annual lesions. The feature of the ringworm or the fungal infections. This is now coming to distribution. This is again important in the diagnosis of some skin conditions. This is dermatoma distribution along the supply of the root. Feature of the herpes zoster. This is extensive involvement, extensive part of the body are involved. Feature of the psoriasis. This is flexural involvement, flexure of the body is involved. Feature of atopic eczema, many other skin conditions too. When the general body is involved, we call it generalized distribution. When the lesions are grouped, like in herpes, simple herpes zoster, or even dermatid herpetiformis, we call it herpetiform distribution. If the lesions occur at the site of trauma, as it's happening here, secondary to the burn, sunburn, we call it Koebner phenomena or Coperniced. It's a feature of the psoriasis, lichen planus, vitiligo, molluscum contagiosum, and viral wart. All has the feature of the Koebner phenomenon. When photoexposed areas involved is what we call photosensitive distribution, occurs in SLE, in porphyrias, different porphyrias, photodermatosis. Pressure is involved. Pressure involved may be involved in cases of the bed sores or neuropathic ulcers. Lesions may be distributed symmetrically involving both sides, same areas. This is a typical feature of the psoriasis. Tunnel involved may occur in acne. When one side of the body involved, we call it unilateral distribution.